everyone that's jumped on.
Right.
Jump in the chat. Let us know where you're from. We'd love to know where you're from. Jump in, say hi. We're going to be having a lot of fun tonight.
And then we'd love to know if you're having hot wings too.
Yeah, join us.
Sympathy pain. Sympathy pain.
Sympathy pain.
Empathy pain. All right, that's awesome.
All right, so it's the first time I'm trying to figure out how we can share this into social media at the same time.
I ordered onion rings also. And are they supposed to be like soggy like this?
Oh.
Yes.
Is this what happens?
They're old and they're cold. Yes.
It's not even right.
Ooh. With Brian's setup there, I almost feel like we all should have been at his house for hot wings.
I do have the ability, by the way, I think to if we want to, I have the ability to co-stream this with Restream.
Yeah, no, we're okay. Let's not worry about it because we can send the replay. We got plenty of people on. People are joining up right now. Woohoo!
I love
it. All right.
Awesome.
Is everybody ready to see us eat some super spicy wings? I'm gonna showcase.
The pain is real.
I'm gonna showcase some things I got. So what I went out and did is I went and got a really sweet a selection of hot sauces. Now we got jalapeno, which we know that's fine.
That's wimpy. Yeah, it's wimpy.
That's mild. That's fine.
Hot.
We're gonna start with mild,
Nice
and then I'm working my way up to chipotle.
Okay, smoked jalapeno.
I've eaten there.
We're getting up there.
Mesquite smoked jalapeno. Yeah.
We're gonna move up to cayenne.
Huh?
Just
Cayenne.
80,000
80,000 Scoville heat units.
Now here we go. Now we're having fun. We have habanero.
Habanero. It's 100 to up to 500,000 Scoville heat units.
Woo.
We got ghost pepper.
All right, getting warm now.
Yeah, you're a little over my level at this point.
Yeah.
You're
and
750
I went all the way up
Yes,
to the Carolina Reaper.
You went the Reaper. Awesome.
We're going all the way up.
This is gonna be fun.
Wait, there was something after ghost pepper?
Oh, yes, there is. Yeah, Carolina Reaper.
The Carolina Reaper.
Oh, Lord.
When you go down the aisle in the grocery store, I kind of like veer to the left around those bottles.
No, I
don't want anything to do with those.
I'll tell you what. I was earlier getting ready for this. I was in every bottle had like the little plastic wrap around it, So I'm going through cutting them. I'm opening them all up to get ready for tonight to put them on the wings and everything. And literally, I don't know what happened, but there's a little bit of leftover Carolina Reaper underneath the wrapping.
Ouch.
And without even second guessing, I was like, I just licked it off my finger real quick.
There you go.
And literally, it was not even a drop. And I was like, oh boy. I was like, okay, I'm actually worried right now. I'm legitimately worried.
Uh-oh. Awesome.
So cool. Now let's see if we can we got quite a few people on right now. We're going to get started. People. We are so excited, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jared Havens here, your financial freedom strategist, CEO of Credilife. We wanted to come together and do something fun for the New Year's. We're going to eat some super spicy wings. We're going to make it hot, and we're going to drop a ton of knowledge around credit, financial wellness, buying power, everything. Let's get your mind right so you can hit your goals this year, 2022. We have quite a few co-hosts on with me today. We got Jeremy Dyson. Go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
I'm Jeremy Dyson. I am, the admissions director for Credilife. So if you get on board with our program, it's coming through me and my team.
Awesome. We got Chris Kruger.
Hey, everybody. I'm the general manager at Credilife. And, basically, I make sure this thing flows and runs. And if you've got questions, use the support team. If they've got problems with anything, if you need help, if they can't answer it, they're going to bring it to me, and we are going to get your questions answered.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right.
Right on.
We got Rick Wenner.
Rick Wenner, Director of Business Relations. I take care of not only our business credit, but also our relationships with our partners, real estate agents, loan officers, as well as a lot of our clients, making sure they're succeeding and getting to their goal of home ownership.
Nice.
So it's my pleasure to be on.
Love it. And we got Brian Delterzo.
Yep.
The man, the myth, the legend that no one ever sees until now.
Behind the scenes program director. I make sure everything you see is happening the way it should happen. And Jared and I really enjoy what we do with this entire team. We have a great people surrounding everything that we're doing at Credilife, and I am not looking forward to these hot wings. But I'm here because I support our mission.
All
Love
right.
it. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
I love it. So I think what we'll do before we start with our first wing, I want to kind of preface, let everyone know what we're going to do, the agenda and all that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be eating. We're going to start with like mild to medium, depending on your tolerance level.
I didn't buy any mild.
So yeah, Jeremy, I knew wouldn't.
I only bought one.
So we'll work our way up throughout the program today. And on top of that, we have very specific things we're going to talk about when it comes to credit improvement, financial wellness, debt reduction strategies, lending. I mean, we're going to really help everyone get their mind right for the new year to achieve your goals. So we'll be doing that throughout the way. Now, also, if you guys have opportunities, just jump in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Let us know any questions you have. We're going to answer your questions along the way too. Okay. So I'll help moderate all this. Anything you guys got, we're going to handle it. But right now, let's go ahead and start with wing number 1.
Wing 1.
Okay.
All right.
So
All right.
I went ahead and went with
Brian
a local
just got
shop.
barbecue.
I've got, yeah,
What do you got?
mine is just Asian Zing. This is like as hot as I
Asian
ever
Zing.
go. So we're starting out with
Oh,
as
got
hot as I
double
go.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Really?
There we go.
Asian Zing. Yeah.
Do you get to have ranch? Or
Oh,
is it straight
no,
up?
we can have whatever we want. No, you have to
I
just
went-
eat the wing, but we can have
You can
accoutrement
maybe have a little
when
bit
our
after.
face is on fire.
I'm starting medium. I am starting medium.
Yeah, isn't
Yep.
Asian Zing is considered a medium?
It's
I
a
think
sure.
so.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's Minnesota medium.
Minnesota medium.
Yep.
All right, kids.
So I'm starting out. It's called. It's kind of fits the lower end of the hot scale. It's called original hot.
All right. There we go.
I would call it a medium based on the scale of what they offer for sale.
I'm prepared.
So
With,
All right, look at that.
all right.
I got a lot of this
I'm gonna try
and
this
blue
out.
cheese.
It's because you have a loving wife. Mine gave me a bottle of water. I'm not sure what that
Okay.
means.
Yeah, Asian Zing.
I'm
No,
here for
Asian,
moral support.
Asian Zing's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Asians, I'm doing an Asian kind of a thing too. I had a local barbecue guy make me up his own individual hot sauces in 4 or 5 different stages. So he said this was picnic friendly, and I'd have to agree.
Okay.
It's pretty tame.
Yeah, this first one is pretty tame. So
Easy.
this, the original
I think this
hot
might
has
be
got
syrup.
a little after zing, and that's about it.
Yeah,
So-
I'm on this medium. I went Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm on medium. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
Jalapeno, the hot jalapeno was fine. Maybe a little bite. I like spicy, so this was pretty mild to me.
You know what
But
I
I think
realized,
to others
guys?
it would be spicy. To others it'd probably be a little spicy.
I haven't tried this since having COVID. So my taste buds may have altered.
Oh, true. That's actually a real thing.
That might be true.
That
I
is
may
right.
make it all the way up to ghost pepper.
I have a
Everything
funny
tastes like metal now, right?
I story for those of you who aren't in
Yeah.
Minnesota that everybody can relate to. So like those of you who aren't from Minnesota, most of us are Scandinavian, German.
Right.
We're pretty bland. Havens is an exception. Dyslex's definitely an exception. So years ago, I was making breakfast for a bunch of hunters that came up to our cabin up north to hunt.
Mhm.
And I'm making eggs and I'm making toast and everything. And I'm one of those people that I put the salt and pepper right on your eggs and serve it to you on the plate, right?
Yeah.
There were 2 guys up there who literally I had to remake their eggs because I put black pepper on their eggs.
Oh
That's
no.
pretty
Like,
intense.
Because it was too. They would not eat the eggs with peppers on them.
That's pretty
pepper-
intense.
And I mean, these are guys like me who you'd think they'd eat anything, right? Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Pepper too spicy. Don't want it.
Minnesota, we got 3 spices in Minnesota. We got salt, we got pepper, we got ketchup. And all 3 of them are too spicy for most of these Minnesotans.
That's awesome. I love it. I
For
love
some
it.
reason, my nose is already running. So that's not a good
This
sign.
is
Well,
great.
we see you have your
This does not bode well for you.
ready and
That is
waiting.
not a good
Brian.
sign.
The first one.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, that's great. I love it. So
Yep.
let's talk about the first topic real quick. I want to go into, I want to talk about last year, because
Okay.
we helped thousands of people. We know what struggles they went through when it comes to buying a home, how to get their credit up, how to repair their credit, all that. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about the housing market. Okay. It looks like we got a question in already. So that's awesome.
Mhm.
I'll get to that very, very soon. But what I want to talk about is the market, the housing market, because almost everyone that reaches out to us, they want to buy a home, right?
Yep.
And so, a lot of times what happened is that people are entering into a really, really hot market, very unique market. You know, something that we really haven't seen before to this level when it came to demand versus, you know, what was available. Multiple offers, you know, people were foregoing their inspection to buy the home, all sorts of stuff. And then on top of that, the type of loan that you were pre-approved for played a huge role in how the sellers were reviewing your offer, right? So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about what happened, what people faced.
It's crazy. Some people would come in with an offer. Perfect. I mean, these are perfectly good people. You're perfectly good people watching this, most of you. And yeah, I can't speak for you all because I haven't done a roll call yet, but most of you are perfectly good people. So these people are coming to purchase these homes. They've got fully underwritten FHA approvals, and they're right out of the gate. They're losing it to cash buyers. They're losing it to people who are bringing more to the table. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with an FHA loan, but to these sellers, and the perception that was happening is that it's more work, there's more struggle, there's more what ifs and things like that. So there were so many offers on these properties.
The appraisal
is more difficult.
More stringent rules and regulations.
Yeah, they want the house to be in good shape. Whoa, you know,
paint.
Damn them. So people are coming with these perfectly good offers, and because a house is getting 30 offers on the first day it's on the market, they're just cutting the FHA out to begin with.
Yeah, and that's a big one. You know, that's one thing I was talking about a lot too, is like, you know, a lot of, you know, when we're out working with our partners, you know, we're out teaching at seminars, events, and things like that, you know, we're really talking about the importance of, especially for any of you on that are in the business of mortgage or real estate, right? And you're working with your clients, you understand, just like we do, what they've been facing, right? And I was really breaking down the importance of understanding, like, in a market like it's been and moving forward, all the more reason why you should be really honing in on how to improve and strengthen your credit. Because if you can get in the position of conventional approval, those type of offers were going higher up on the list, right? Obviously, cash is king. Cash is king for a lot of things, right? So that's up there. But conventional was really where you wanted to be ideally in most hot market areas, right? And on top of that, what's really cool is not only by working on your credit, getting it stronger to be approved for that type of lending, a big thing, and I think this is even, I really want to bring this up right now because it's so important. I want to talk about, like, right now the interest rates have gone up a little bit, right? So we're looking at last year, interest rates are at all-time low. The market was super hot. People, places being sold $60,000 over asking, things like that, right? Well, there's a little bit of a worry here moving forward because rates are increasing slightly, right? So they're wondering, what does that mean for my loan? Maybe I should wait a little bit. Well, here's something really cool to think about as well. If you were pre-approved for FHA and you want to come out into 2022 and compete, and you're worried about the interest rate that went up a little bit, by working on, once again, getting your credit a little bit higher, you could enter into conventional financing and save on the mortgage insurance cost. That cost on savings on average right now would equal or even greater than what the interest rate hike is.
Right.
So it's really cool to, like, think about that. Like, it's like you still have a lot of options, and on top of that, interest rates still really are at an all-time low. They're not the lowest, but they're still very low. So it's like, it's some cool stuff that you can really think about in advance that can give you more buying power, more options, so you don't feel stuck. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to explain there, a little bit long-winded, but, you know, that's one thing that's on my mind all the time, you know, for clients going into this year, is like, how do they compete, right? That to me is one of the biggest leading factors that can get you not only have your offers looked at, but save you a ton of money and get more buying power and offset some of the costs and interest.
I'll tell you, we actually had a question in
Drink
chat
up the
that goes
heat.
in. Yes,
Drink up the heat. I just read that.
We will.
Trudy asked, why are appraisals matching ridiculous over list price offers? I thought appraisals have rules as far as how much it can be appraised at.
That's a great question.
Does anyone want to try to tackle that? Otherwise, I can.
Sure. No, the short answer is that the rule is the appraisal is based on what somebody's willing to pay for the house.
Yep.
Okay. That is market value. That's your appraised value. And if people are paying more than what it's listed at,
right,
you're not, the appraisal is not going to be limited to what it's listed at. The appraisal is going to come in at what the market value is or what that appraiser thinks the market value is. So
David makes a good point there, and that is So when you think about how do they determine what market value is for, let's say, square foot finish of a kitchen, let's say, they're going to pull comps from comparable houses that sold in that neighborhood. And the way the market was going last year, those houses may have sold within the last day or two. So that appraisals and that real estate agent, they're getting a pretty fresh idea of what the square foot value is going to be.
There are things like cash buyers who come in, and if they're buying with cash for whatever offer they make, when that house sells for that amount of cash, possibly well over what it's worth, right? That becomes the comparable property that sold in the neighborhood. So these cash buyers who were beating out all the FHA buyers and things like that have actually created a situation where they can be used now to justify by the appraiser that higher amount for the house. It's crazy. It's a feeding frenzy.
Well, and let me welcome some people to why that's good news for a lot of the clients that we had. So let's say on average in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that increase that Jeremy's talking about, let's say that increase was a 10% increase in the value of the home. That's about a 3% improvement in annual equity than on an average year. So if you're getting into the home now, my point is, if you're getting into the home now, you're getting on average an extra 3% increase in the value of the equity that you're going to get on the appraisal. So even if you do get into FHA and continue to work on your credit, you can refinance into conventional in a year because that house is going to continue to go up in value because comps are going to continue to go up, right?
It's crazy.
So, and I know Jared was on a radio show last week about the home buying, and they made that point too. It's never, ever a bad situation to start investing. And I'll just put one other note in there when it comes to historical interest rates. I bought my first home in 1991 at 9.25% interest rate. Jared's laughing because he thinks it's like, let's see, I was like 5 years old then, but 9.25% was the first house I financed. I don't know about you, Chris, what rates were like with you or with Jeremy.
Well, so when I can tell you though, when I started originating mortgages back in the early 90s, they were in that 8-9% range. But people don't maybe realize this, but my dad has been a real estate broker since I was knee high to him. And I remember back in the 80s, when, I didn't know it at the time, but I learned after the fact, but back in the mid 80s, 82, 83, 84, 85, interest rates on mortgages were 13, 14, 15, 16%.
Yep. Roland just said 11 and a quarter in 1988. I tell you, when I got into the mortgage industry, I was bringing people down to 8% and 7%, and people were crying and hugging me for it. It was unbelievable.
Yep. Exactly. Let's crank up the heat, boys.
Yeah.
All
right.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. We got to keep this going. All right.
All right.
Hey, and everyone, thank you for the participation. Ask more questions. We're going to be giving a ton of knowledge, but we want to hear from you. We want to know what you want to know so we can answer it. You know what I mean? So jump in. In fact, I think there's an option that you could either ask a question to everyone, or you can even choose hosts and panelists. So if you want to remain anonymous for any reason, just reach out to us. Say, hey, I have a question about this, right? We can still answer it.
This is where I keep my wings.
All right, my next one is you guys can tell me Chipotle barbecue dry rub. That's just medium.
Weak. That's
weak.
It's
weak.
That's weak. That's weak.
That's Italian buffalo wing sauce right there, my friend.
Come on.
So you guys,
it's a long way from my sweet teriyaki though.
I went spicy garlic.
That's true.
Because I went spicy garlic. It's the next step up from that medium one.
Okay.
Honestly, it's just delicious. So I kind of cheated.
I stepped up the heat a little bit. My next one is Cajun. Now I don't know what that means.
It
and it's also if they put them in the right order in the box here. So I'm kind of doing a little shotgun in here with we'll find out.
I'm excited to get to the hotter stuff like this.
I want
to see Brian cry. All right, I'm just gonna put it out there for what it is. I want to see Brian cry a little bit.
This doesn't taste like anything. You think I got a dud?
You got a dud.
Take a bite out of another one. Maybe you did.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
This one's got. I've moved it up to the hot sweet sauce that I had made for me.
It's spicy.
This one is really sweet to start with, but after the second bite on the back of my tongue,
a little slow burn.
It's got the slow burn.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
actually a little bit worried right now.
Oh, I think the last
worried.
one I did was the Cajun. I think I just stepped down to the original hot because it doesn't quite have the zing as the first one I did.
Huh.
Oh my goodness,
So-
guys. I can
That was
see
delicious.
I'm getting red in the face.
What'd you just eat?
All right. Maybe I should
Dude,
skip
just
up
a
one.
Chipotle.
That was
This
just
is
a
actually
Chipotle?
spicy.
I'm gonna go up one because
I'm actually very worried now.
Uh-oh.
jam
Now
and,
my army of darkness
jam and
is up
jalapeno.
here.
This
Uh-oh.
is too easy.
I was
Okay.
thinking I was going to be fine up until ghost pepper, but I'm actually really worried now.
Okay, I'm gonna do
that
the
you
jam and
should be.
jalapeno because that Chipotle thing was nothing.
I like it that Kaylee's
Oh, my
challenging you.
goodness.
This is too easy.
I know,
You
she's
gotta
like,
step
eat
it up.
something hotter.
Thank you,
Fire,
Kaylee,
eat all
for being
the
there to
things,
push them.
die. Burn to
Oh my,
death.
I am actually
Dude.
really getting hot. Like,
Nothing for
I'm-
jam and jalapeno?
Dude, I think COVID made me a man.
Well, something had to.
something happened.
Okay.
Oh my
Kaylee goes,
goodness,
nope.
something happened. Oh my
Kaylee's like,
goodness.
no. Oh God, the army of
Oh,
darkness
boy.
is assembling.
This jalapeno one isn't spicy either.
Woo!
All right, so
I seem to have attracted my cats.
Oh my gosh, look at that. It's
obviously,
creepy.
yeah, the cats they love the spicy. Look at
My
that.
army of darkness.
I'm seeing a.
Oh my goodness, okay.
That was delicious.
All right.
No,
I thought
that's
for
not
sure
true,
Brian
kitty.
was gonna be the one that's crying, and here I'm.
Jared,
the
what are
one
you
to
eating?
start.
Goth, get down.
Chipotle. I just started with my second one, Chipotle.
And you're dying already?
I
it's
skipped
very
right over
spicy.
Chipotle.
That's awesome. Hey,
All
we
right.
got a few questions in the Q&A, guys.
Let's
Okay,
go
what we
ahead.
got?
Oh,
We had
wait.
comments on the interest rate
Yes,
thing too.
thank
Some
you,
people are
thank you,
quoting.
thank
you.
Some other people remember those high rates. You know, Jason.
Oh, I
Everyone,
love
for
this. I
example.
love this. I love
Yep.
this. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start with let's see.
Cat,
based
none
on
of those are
time.
yours.
Okay, we got right here. So, what are all the different reasons to investigate an account? Thought I heard there was 27 different ones. So let's talk about that. Investigations. This is more specific to credit repair. So this would be anyone that's watching. Like, let's say if you've gone through an issue in your past, maybe you had something that came up, it caused a negative impact to your credit. A lot of times, I always let clients know that I'm talking to. Usually, it's an event that happened in your life. Usually, is what ends up happening that caused a negative impact
Right.
to your credit, right? So it's derogatory, negative type reporting. Maybe it's a late payment. Maybe it's an account that went to collections, right? Things like that. So go ahead, jump in, guys. What are the different reasons to investigate an account?
Well, first off, let's just make it a point so that everybody knows it
Why?
doesn't matter if the debt or the account was yours or not. You know,
Right.
you don't want to, unless you know it wasn't yours and it's truly fraud, in which case you should be filing a fraud affidavit, whatever, right?
Right.
You don't challenge it and say, this isn't mine, get it off my credit report. If it was yours, don't
Right.
commit that kind of fraud,
That
right?
That's the thing that drives me absolutely nuts. We hear people say that about inquiries. Oh, just say they're all fraud. Say you have no knowledge of them.
Right. Don't do that stuff.
That drives me crazy. That's not the proper way to do it.
Right.
It's no
No,
more
it-
effective than doing it the right way.
Well, that's
Right.
why we
If
talk
you-
about the categories of an account, because if you're just disputing it is not yours, that's
Right.
you shouldn't be lying in this process or
Correct.
Well, we got your name. Oh, I guess it's
you're
yours.
you're challenging the validity of how it reports, not whether it's yours or not. And there's those 27 different aspects in there about what's reporting that you can tackle and make
Right.
them jump through the hoop.
and some of the most obvious things would be like the date of last payment, the date of open, the date, the balances, the
activity.
limits.
Right.
All
Yeah.
those little aspects that you see on your credit report, everything where there's a line item is considered something that you'd want to know whether it's accurate or not, according to the investigation process.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yep.
Here's another thing. I love to bring this up because I feel like a lot of times when people hear about credit repair, like, oh, I want to work on something, they don't fully understand the benefits and potential drawbacks. Here's something to consider. It doesn't make sense always to challenge an account. There's
That's
actually
right.
times that you could investigate an account, it gets removed, and it lowers your score.
That's right.
That actually happens to a lot of people
Right.
who don't fully understand, and they might see an account that they've had open for, let's say, 3-4 years and had like one late payment back 2 years ago, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna
Right.
challenge this. All of a sudden, the entire trade line's removed. Well, guess
I
what?
see that. I see it happening a
goes
lot of times
down.
with people, cars. They'll have one 30-day late on their automotive loan. It's 3 years ago. I want to get rid of that. And by not knowing, just call it what it is, not knowing what they're doing, they demand deletion if it's not verified, validated, documented, everything they're asking, and then the entire thing is gone, and you have lost a 48,
years.
a 60, a
Yep.
72-month, $50,000 line of trade that was doing amazing things for you. You might have shortened your age of credit now. You've definitely shortened the available, your history of repayment. It's absolutely crazy.
There's a lot of different things there.
I think what people need to keep in mind is that creditors to report information is an elective process, right? Where, and I say this a lot when I used to do consultations, is if you can show me where T-Mobile is willing to report your on-time payments every month, I'll show you a reason why you should investigate the information.
Right.
In other words, you don't have to manufacture the reason for challenging or holding them accountable to validation of the information.
No,
they've already chosen to be a part of an elective process to pay to have that data reported. If they want to redact that data, they want to delete that data, that's up to them. It doesn't mean it goes away or that it was never true.
Right.
It just means they don't want to spend the money and the time to verify the data.
So let's this is something that people get really hung up on, is because if you listen to the government, if you listen to the pundits and the gurus on TV, they all want to tell you that negative information stays on your credit report for 7 years, right? Like that's the law, that it can't come off. And that is absolutely not true. So if you ever look at the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it actually, and this isn't verbatim, but the gist of it, states negative information, we're talking about accounts now, not public records, may not remain on your credit report longer than 7 years and 180 days from what's called the date of first delinquency. So it says longer than. That doesn't mean the nice thing about what we do is it doesn't have to be there at all. There's no law that says it has to be there.
Correct.
Yep. That's amazing. That's so spot on. So basically what we're saying is that it was a phenomenal question. It's, one, it's your legal right to challenge the validity and or accuracy of anything that's within your credit report. That's number one. And what we talked about is about strategy, right? It's about letters, what to say, how to say it, right? To the result that you're looking for. It's your legal right to challenge information, right? That's very important to understand that. And also, hopefully you guys understand that it doesn't mean challenge everything, right? That's a big one, because you want to strategically challenge in a way that's going to help put your credit profile in the best position to improve, meaning at the same time you're doing everything right over here. Maybe it's more credit building, debt management, lowering your overall debt ratio. There's so much important around debt management and credit building that I feel is overlooked a lot, just because in credit repair, that's like the sexy part. That's the, hey, I heard we could do this and this is going to get me to my goal.
Right.
And in one of the events that I had here maybe a few months ago or whatever, I actually showed them, this is coming straight from the bureaus, where they showed that a lot of people, now understand, this is why here at Credilife, we have a very specific methodology. It's repair, it's build, and manage for a reason. Now listen to this. This came straight from the bureaus. I wish I had this on hand. I'd throw it in there for you guys. It was showing that on all the investigations or dispute process, they showed a percentage of what the outcomes were and what it actually did for their credit. Believe it or not, the vast majority did not improve. In fact, their credit went backwards when it came to scoring. The vast majority. So that shows you a lot of times people don't know, meaning just because this one account, like for instance, let's say you go and apply for something today. I apply for a credit card, I apply for a loan or mortgage, and the person says, oh, denial because of X. You hold on to that specifically because you don't know. You're thinking, okay, it must just be this. It's this one thing that's holding me back. And you go, okay, I'm going to challenge this. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to try to get it removed. Well, now all of a sudden, your score goes down if it is to say you get a result of removal. And now you go to reapply and you're being denied due to credit score itself directly. Right. So there's so much involved where it's like, you have to understand that you have to do all three. Strategically repair the past, build, and manage. So scores are going up.
Great. We're not trying to scare you guys off from doing this yourself. Let's just put it out there. We're not trying to, frighten you or anything like that. This is just the reality. Credit repair, credit, financial wellness is the deletions, all that. It doesn't operate. It doesn't operate in a vacuum. You know what I mean? It doesn't operate in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You want to work to eliminate the negatives, but you have to at the same time build the positives. Then you have to deal with the actual money. What's the root cause of you having these credit issues to begin with?
And
how
I think
can
that
we move forward?
I think that's the best. You just nailed it, Jeremy.
Oh, cool. I'm
What do I
done
think-
then.
You can
I'm
keep
going
eating.
back to my wings.
You just
Everyone
hit the,
grab your next round.
as
while Rick
I'm
talks.
dealing. And by the way, David, I responded to your question. If you want to shoot me an email to rick@yourcreditlife.com, I can set you up as a referral partner, and we can go ahead and get
Yeah,
started. on those two clients there.
David's awesome.
I gotta-
He's got some great questions
I
too.
got the
Yep.
best place to keep my wings here.
Yeah,
So
so
one of the things
they
that
stay
Jeremy
warm.
commented on was we take the time to explain to you why. Why is it important to have 3 revolving cards? Why is it important to have an installment loan? We mentioned that example of getting a car loan deleted from your credit report, and obviously that doesn't mean you don't owe it anymore. But why is it important to have an installment type loan reporting to your credit report? So as a FICO certified credit coach, and we all are FICO certified, it simply
think we
means
all
we're
are.
going to take the time to explain to you why these things that we're recommending that you learn are important, not only to get yourself in a position to be pre-approved, but forever. I don't see any
All right,
tears,
let's-
Alex.
Let's do the next round, everybody. We
All
gotta
right,
crank
Alex,
it up
this
for
one's
the
for you.
audience.
I just
We
want
gotta
to.
crank it up for the audience.
We do.
And
I just want to share
and
all
Alex,
that
just-
great advice from Jeremy.
Mm.
If you're looking at Jeremy's red background with the bar
Yeah, I
behind
should
him,
probably explain this.
yeah, he calls this his murder bar.
I have
It's
a
a
horror
theme
theme.
bar.
My wife
Okay.
is seriously into horror movies. Okay, so there's just walls of DVDs and Blu-rays. We've got like 10,000 different horror movies and memorabilia and stuff. This is the murder bar, the horror bar. I let her theme the room, and she went with it.
Okay, Brian, can't handle mango habanero.
Oh boy!
All right, we're going to turn up the heat. Alex, thank you. By the way, Alex is for those of you that don't know, Alex is one of our recent additions to our
Yes.
referral partner network.
I recognize
Yeah.
Alex's name.
All right, Alex, I'm going to do this one for you here. I'm going to up it.
How you
to
doing,
the,
Brian?
Okay.
How you doing over there, Brian?
It
You're
tastes
making
good,
dry
but
rub.
it's too hot. It's too
If-
hot.
If this is
This
now
was-
that
got
I've
a nice
got
flavor.
maybe the order right, I should be stepping up to the mango habanero.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I'm eating right now.
Do it.
A
this
nice
is the,
flavor with this
All right.
undertone of terrible, terrible,
Actually,
terrible,
I'm gonna do that
terrible
right
hot.
now because I just had cayenne and that was weak. That was actually weaker than the Chipotle.
this
So
Jamaican
here's-
dry rub is hot, hot, hot.
I'm going straight. I'm going
You
straight
got
habanero.
This
I'm
is
going
a
straight habanero
one.
for the people.
Yeah, I'm up to habanero.
I
we
don't
gotta do
know
it.
if I gotta say
So good.
I'm disappointed.
In the
So
spice
far,
level.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, so far I don't think. I mean, really, I haven't even had yet. I'm in 3, and I haven't had yet what I would consider a hot wing.
Dude, you should get my
Well,
level. I'm
let's
using like
crank it up.
I have a cup of this per wing.
Okay.
Wow.
I
Here's
got 2 ounces of sauce per wing.
I've got my gallon of milk ready, and I just don't need it.
Mm.
So,
This one's
I'm
hurting
digging
a little bit.
habanero. I'm digging the habanero. We're finally getting to something where you can actually
Alright.
taste it.
okay.
This one's hot.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's one of those. You know how it's a dry rub, so it doesn't like have
Yeah,
a lot of
Scotch
tanginess.
bonnet.
to it.
Right.
Oh my.
It's
How you doing?
it's got all these Jamaican hot spices on it. And each bite is harder and harder to take.
Oh,
Oh,
my tongue is like dripping.
It's good though, man.
This one is really spicy.
You're on the
actually.
habanero?
Yes, this is just cranked it up like a lot. I need to put chapstick on. I'm scared.
There's a reason
Look
for
Dude,
at
I
my
this?
lips.
could put this stuff on my cereal.
I have a question after that one to ask Brian and
Oh
Jared.
my goodness.
Can I come in a couple hours late tomorrow?
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you actually have to come in early.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
What? Why are you
So-
guys having difficulty here?
what
What's
is
going on?
I don't
It's almost
know,
like you're-
but mine. I think mine's spicier than your
you guys
guys'.
like this?
It's not. I love this. I like habanero because habanero doesn't.
This would
hit
be a
you
lot
right away.
more-
It's a slow building heat.
it'd
As the
be a lot.
capsaicin
Oh, is that
spreads over
why
your
it's
tongue,
getting worse?
fantastic.
I was thinking,
Brian,
You know-
it would be a lot easier if we had 3 or 4 beers already.
Oh my
goodness.
I remember being down in Tampa when I was in the Coast Guard, and my buddies and I, we would get together and
Drink
we would
some
go.
water, quick.
We would have a contest. He was like, "Okay, guys, where do you want to go for?" We would try to go find the hottest wings we could. I
Oh, yeah,
remember.
you got to.
Yeah, we'd go. We'd order a couple of beers. We'd order the wings, and your eyebrows are curling as they're bringing them to the table, right?
Back in college,
Just crazy.
we would look for
This
the
is
Krispy
nothing.
Kreme with the warm donut sign.
That one was.
I wasn't looking for the hot
Oh my.
wings.
Dude, that was delicious.
Those are good too.
Let me ask the audience. Who wants us to go one more hot level?
Yeah.
Well, I can go
Should we
from
bust
here.
one more out real quick?
Don't ask these guys this.
I got 3
question.
more
Can we go
levels.
one more before we answer more questions?
I can already tell you what Roland's going to say.
Jimmy, you have 3 more?
I got 3 more.
All right.
I
I
got
don't.
Scorpion.
I'm gonna go back to the last hot one I had.
And
You need to
Carolina
go
Reaper.
atomic. Chris, go straight to atomic. We need to see you
Well,
try.
All right, I'll go to it. If
I would
it's
grab another
atomic, I'm really disappointed in these wings.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab another one.
I think they were out of order. If there was an atomic in here, somebody needs to go have these guys relabel this stuff.
I'm going ghost pepper, everybody.
Are ya?
We're doing ghost pepper.
All right. I'm going ghost
I
pepper.
might as well get me last one, but
This one habanero is actually really spicy. My tongue is like,
Ghost is
Yeah,
good,
it's got habanero in it.
habanero stays with you though.
Okay,
That's
so
the thing.
Ugh.
You have desert heat.
yeah, because it's not going away.
But
That's
it's a
No,
dry
it's
I
not.
agree.
Mm.
You need to wait.
No, I think this
Well,
was the
I'm
habanero
gonna give me
one.
like a few minutes to get.
Brad's got to refresh.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Get him some lemonade and a wet towel. He'll be out.
Desert
Okay.
Here's what we'll do. We'll answer. Let's answer another question,
Okay.
and then we're going straight to the next one. Okay.
This one had a little heat, guys.
I mean, habanero and curry.
Here we go. Why do they say never pay
Really
a medical collection?
Never what?
What? Someone's asking. Why do they say never pay
Oh,
medical
good,
collections?
good question.
That's a
They're
great
crazy.
question.
No,
I'd
why?
love to hear Chris on this. Chris is our
Chris, you
collections
get this
guy.
one.
All right. First off, we will never tell you not to pay a debt obligation ever.
Correct.
Okay. The first step when dealing with any collection account, not just medical
I brought
collection,
rolls to help me. I got to get
Is
this out
to
real
Are you
quick.
seriously eating
investigate
King's
it.
Hawaiian?
Yes.
is to investigate the account for deletion first.
Mm.
And then once it's deleted, if it's a legitimate debt that's still within the statute of limitations, and it's your debt, of course, right? Then that's
Mhm.
your window of opportunity to pay or settle on that debt to keep it from getting transferred or sold and put back
have
on your
another
credit
one of
report.
this.
You know, I say that all the time in the group, on the Fair Credit Report, or on the Facebook group that we're in, that we run.
The free
And-
credit repair advice group.
Yeah, the Free Credit Repair Advice Group. Yep.
Mm.
So,
Wait for
um,
what do you got here?
I had
but
to get
another
more.
reason why, for example, if you're a lender, because this was a great question. If you're a lender, they don't want you typically to pay those because right now, and lenders can verify this, and I would always ask you to verify with your lender, right?
Mhm.
If you're doing an FHA loan, they don't care about the medical collections.
Yeah, a lot of the mortgage underwriting, they'll overlook
Okay.
that,
Yep.
you know, and so
As
you
long
know,
as your credit qualifies, which they might be
Exactly.
holding you from that.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yep.
you might need to work, you still might need to deal with them or work on it to get your scores high enough.
Yeah, the medical
But-
collections will impact your score.
They will.
Yes,
They will.
do.
The end.
Yeah.
So they may say, hey, you don't have to pay these off to qualify, but you got a 615 score.
Yeah.
So then it's time to do something about it.
Yep. But
You know,
typically,
I'm
curry
gonna
habanero.
put it out there for what it is.
Curry
I'm
habanero.
a little. I wish we did this. You know, obviously COVID, we couldn't. I don't think you guys are having the same things I'm having.
well, I'm not. Definitely, I'm not.
I can confirm.
Holy smokes, this last
No,
one
but
is like,
Jared's in some sort of bottle. We should have all done
Dude.
B-dubs.
Well,
There
this one,
there is a spot on your forehead where I could look at myself in the mirror on right now.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
God.
This
I'm
desert
super
heat
hot.
one is the hottest I could find. I could get at B-dubs, but there was another choice. I could have gotten
All
both,
right.
but my
Yeah,
mouth is
there's-
hurting.
Did you
Let's
have
do
the
this.
Did you have the Scorpion or the Reaper one from B-Dubs?
No, I got the desert heat. I got
Let's
the
go.
desert
It gets
heat
hotter
out of
than that.
recommendation to keep the wet because my lips are hurting more than anything else right
Yeah.
now.
Right
Yeah,
now.
That's why I put on Burt's Bees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
your lips
is-
are hurting. Brian, I got
Desert-
news for you. Your lips are hurting right now.
Yeah.
We're chaps.
Yeah, you know where that's headed. Yes.
oh yeah,
Soon your butt's gonna hurt.
Mm.
Ring of Fire, baby.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
Ring of fire! Oh my goodness!
Actually,
You're
No,
telling me it's
I
going to
won't
hurt
go
on the
into
way out too?
The
No one
That's
told me
the old
that.
saying. That's the old saying.
habanero will burn you twice.
Well, now I know why Jeremy likes this hot stuff so much.
Yeah,
Whatever
Jason,
you-
have him drink water.
He's so excited about later.
All right, here we go. Are we going to the next one? Everyone,
Desert
Go for it.
heat.
Desert heat. Do it. Do it.
go.
Wait, is this, are we
Take a
going the
big bite.
highest?
Take a real bite, Brian.
Ah,
Are we like going to the hottest one now?
By the way, Brian,
ahead?
if this is your first time doing this, when you take your glasses off tonight or whatever, don't touch
your
eyes until you washed your hands.
Jamie
That's
warned
not
us
all
way
you
in the
don't wanna
beginning. Thank you,
touch.
Jamie.
Wait, how many types do people have left? I got 2 left.
This is Brian's last one.
Two left, including this one.
You know what? These
Oh
dry
my.
rubs are a different kind of spice.
It's slower. It's a slower burn.
Oh,
Give it a minute.
I'm having this one. It's almost all. I kind of had to doctor some of these up because they're a little weak.
Good. Anytime we could talk about dry rub and credit repair in the
Oh my
same
God.
day is a good day.
Yep.
It's a good.
All I got to say is I will be finding a different restaurant for my hot wings if we do this again.
I'm starting to, my nose is starting to run. I can feel it in my chest, and I have 2 more left, by the way, Jeremy. 2 more.
I did the blaze. I've got the blazing from Buffalo Wild Wing, but I don't know if you guys can. Maybe you can't see it. I added scorpion pepper oil on top of it because I wanted because it's just so pathetic.
Dry rub.
This is not a problem.
I don't think so.
This is not a problem for him, guys. He's a champ.
Tell us that tomorrow.
Dry rub.
Ghost pepper is very spicy. Ghost pepper is very spicy.
Ooh.
The scorp is good.
Oh my
My
goodness.
lips are burning, but I think it was because I think the habanero.
My
one is the
lips
hottest
Look
one.
at
actually quivering.
look at how red my lips have gotten in the last half hour.
Okay,
I can't feel them, Kaylee. They're seriously. I think
Let's go.
Hey,
It's on the
get
side
out of
and I
my
can
Let's
only
go to the
do
next
habanero,
question.
So I give
this is
it
the
a
best
Try this
time to
one.
answer
I don't
while your
know
mouth's
if I
on
can-
fire.
This one not. It's not spicy.
I like
let's-
spicy, but mango habanero was hot.
Somebody needs to call B Dubs and tell them Desert Heat's in the wrong category.
Yeah, that's a mild.
Let me ask you this, everybody.
That's like Colonel Sanders'
What's the-
11 herbs and spices is what that is.
What's the best way to handle charge-offs to improve a client's credit?
Okay. It does depend on what type of loan they're going after.
Fair enough.
Because again,
Mhm.
FHA we know right now doesn't care about charge-offs, right? As long as the client qualifies otherwise, right? So again, check with your lender, okay? But they are a big negative against your scores, especially if there's a balance owed, but even if there isn't. Okay, so same thing applies. Work to get them deleted, preferably first, and then if they're legit, pay or settle those babies.
Yeah,
so that they
best
don't
way
come
to
back.
best way to say it is while paying on these old collections, while paying on these charge-offs, it's a step in the process.
Right.
It's just not necessarily the first step. First step is
Explain
verify
the
with the
wins,
bureaus, validate with the third-party debt collectors. Once deleted, hop in there, settle it, have a good day.
Yep.
I was gonna say,
You okay there, Jared?
this is very spicy. I don't think you guys understand what I'm going through. But real quick on the charge-off thing, I actually know some stuff. I just got to put out there.
I actually know some stuff. Do you?
So when it comes to charged-off accounts,
Yeah.
as we all know, there's
Yeah.
obviously the negative impact to the credit. And a lot of times when people are working on their credit, you know, they might, in most cases, I'd say if they had charge-off accounts, a lot of times they'll also have collections. In most cases, based on our history of working with clients.
Right.
A lot of times it's better first to focus on the collections, because a lot of times through investigation strategies, there's a lot that can be done to remove the collection and then settle after deletion,
Right.
which is going to help our credit profile increase quicker.
And
Now
you
when it
save
comes-
more money.
Yeah, and you save a lot of money. Now with charged off accounts, yes, there's possibilities of getting that removed as well, but they are more difficult. That is the full transparency, it's more difficult. But another thing, a lot of times certain mortgage products will, Kaylee's dying over there. She just loves this, doesn't she? Oh, my throat's on fire and everything.
She could be watching. She could be watching.
Well, what they'll do
hard to
is they'll
get through
take
it.
the percentage of the balance of the charged off account and factor that towards debt to income ratio. Sometimes, as long as the credit can get there.
Yep.
So a lot of times, what we'll do with our clients is we want to understand one, debt to income ratio. What's, sorry, our clients want more buying power, okay? But we also want to achieve their goals in a timely manner. So there's
Mhm.
times we may decide, hey, we got your credit profile in a better position, where even they might take a portion of that towards debt to income ratio. As long as we have enough income and buying power, it makes sense to move forward. But then there might be times it makes more sense to work on debt settlement negotiation, bring that back down to a zero balance, because that difference in DTI could really limit your overall buying power, right? Because for us, I'll tell you guys, I'm actually starting to get a little better now. It's starting to come around just a little bit. I think I'm on the tail end.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Right.
but oh, shoot, now I just lost a train of thought. Oh my goodness, I feel so
DTI, charge-offs.
Sometimes
Charge-offs,
Charge-offs,
settlement ratios.
Oh, what
hot
I was going to
stuff.
say is we want all of our clients to have ultimate buying power, meaning you fully understand what's available to you, how to save the most amount of money and buy more home. The one thing that I just can't get over, and I bring it up a lot because I truly believe in this. If we can get your scores up to conventional outside of FHA, the mortgage insurance costs on FHA is a lot.
Oh,
Flat
it's
out,
huge.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to push people away from that loan product. What I'm saying is that you don't know the difference of, hey, if I get myself from 640 to 680, maybe it's not that far away. Maybe it's only 2 months of work.
Yeah, it's 40
And that
points.
alone
It's not-
gives you, based on the interest rates right now and the average home price, that could be a difference in just the savings alone on mortgage insurance, about 40 to 50 grand in home.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
That's what I'm
another
trying
thing,
to say.
another great thing about buying power, and we talk about it all the time. So for us, it's just how we work, how we operate, how we coach our clients, and the overall process and strategies that we implement. But to me, and working with as many clients as I have over the years, and especially in the last 2 years where COVID and maybe the second income isn't there because one of the families home with the kids or whatever it is, incomes are tight. But here's the great thing about buying power. You have the ability, when you know you're pre-approved, when you know you have the buying power, you also have the ability to say, no, that's not the house for me. Nope, that's not the car for me.
Right.
And you have the ability to be a better shopper, a better steward of your own money. Because if
Right.
you're, if Brian and Kayla are walking through their first house together and they know this is the only house they're going to get pre-approved for, guess what they're going to have a tendency to do? Jump at the first offer,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Versus going, no, you know what? For me and my family, I'm going to spend 10, 15 grand more or maybe less, but I'm going to get the house I want because I have the buying.
Correct.
That's
Buying
so-
power.
so-
That
was
was
so
you get
well
to be a
said,
better
Rick.
consumer.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Spot on.
amazing.
Spot on. That's what
Are we
do
doing the
every single day.
hottest? Did we do the hottest? Are we doing the hottest?
I did it. And
I was hoping to keep
I'll
talking,
do
so
my
I wouldn't
mango.
have to do
I'm
the
doing
hottest.
mango jalapeno was my hottest. This
All right.
this
Mango habanero.
mango
All right, I'll do
habanero.
it.
Are we going
Habanero.
hottest?
I want to go
Habanero.
hottest.
Jalapeno.
Some
I
hot
want to go
stuff.
hottest. Everything's been so weak.
But the desert
has.
heat is not. No, I should have gotten the other one.
I had a
I'm
feeling
doing-
this was going to happen.
I'm doing Carolina Reaper.
I had a feeling that I was going to be the one that had the spiciest because
You know what someone recommended
these
me
solid
today?
Well, bottles.
you actually got
you guys, if
spices,
you
the
look back in
bottles,
the free
though.
credit repair advice group and look in the past at the pepper eating and at the hot
Oh.
sauce eating, I don't think it's that you got the hottest.
yeah, right. But
Are you
Jamie,
doing Carolina
right.
Reaper? This is Carolina Reaper here.
All
So-
right, here
so-
I want everyone to see this.
I wish.
Okay.
See, I wish we were all together. That way we could be eating the same thing.
So can
Well, and that's
everyone
what
see that?
TT
Because
just
I know
said, too,
Jeremy's
and I
just
was
got a
gonna
bunch
say
of
I
sweet
agree with that.
teriyaki over there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
we got the Reaper.
Yeah, that's me.
Now I want you guys to see this
Okay, I'm watching.
because I'm dying already, but I want you guys to fully know that I'm in it to win it.
Oh,
look
jeez,
at that.
no, dude.
Oh.
I'm on Carolina Reaper, baby. I'm on Carolina Reaper.
No, you
All
guys
right.
are crazy. You're dunking yours.
What are you supposed to do? That's how you
smear,
get-
smear
that's
it
how you
around
get-
on your lips.
I'm watching this with
Oh,
sheer.
yeah? Bad lick,
awe.
yeah.
They're like the Superman of hot stuff.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Hot. It's hot.
All right. Just for the record, that shit's hot.
Oh,
That is hot.
My nose is dripping a lot already.
Mm.
Next time we're gonna have one of those one chip challenges for Jeremy to have one of those things.
Give me a handful of them.
No.
Jeremy, it's not even
Oh.
right. He can just do it with ease.
I know,
it seems
right?
like.
You know, for Jeremy, when you were born in hell. No, I'm just kidding.
It is warm.
Okay.
The hottest thing I
Yeah, that
ever
Reaper
ate,
stays with you.
I can do hot pretty well, but about a year ago, my daughter went over to there's a candy store over by Jordan, now kind of by where you live, Brian.
Yeah.
The world's famous candy
No,
store.
it's
The,
just
world,
staying
the,
hot.
the Minnesota's largest, I think it's called.
Minnesota largest, you're right.
Mhm.
So, and there's this candy out there that's a cinnamon based thing. It's called the Devil's Toenail. And it's a sucker that's a cinnamon sucker.
Hmm.
That's technically made to be the hottest candy in the world.
The Reaper guy.
My daughter thinks this is being funny. She brings it home and she's like, oh, I don't think you can do this. And I'm going to put it on YouTube and whatever. And if you can keep this sucker in your mouth for a minute, you'll do what only about 10% of people can do. I'm not kidding you. I had it in my mouth for 30 seconds and I was in the bathroom, guzzling water, milk, everything I could. It was a horrible experience.
It does have a
30
cinnamon taste
seconds.
to it.
How you doing,
It just
Jared?
keeps coming.
15 seconds into it, Brian, I'm not kidding you. You can't.
Chris, it
taste
doesn't
anything.
stop.
Your face is numb. My lips were numb. My tongue was numb. The next day I woke up and my tongue felt weird because I was like feeling my teeth like, oh, thank
Rubbing
God
it
I
on my
can
lips
feel my
was a
teeth
poor
again.
idea.
I'm glad I brought it up.
Rubbing it on my lips was not like it was chapstick was not a good idea.
Oh, man.
No, don't put it on your lips.
All right, let's
Put it on
ask
your
another
lips.
question. I'm
I
gonna do
put it
another
on- That's
question.
why my lips are so. Look how red they've turned.
Dude, you're going to look at you.
They're going to be so full tomorrow.
Here we go.
Blister.
The next question.
Thank
Next
God my
question
whole
for
room's
everybody.
red, or you'd really see what it looked like.
Oh,
Here we go.
what?
How will high balance changes and a hike in interest rate affect wholesale and correspondent lending versus depository bank and pricing? It's a more technical
Wow.
question.
Holy.
That was very
Actually, the
technical.
rates are typically inversely proportionate to the T-bill. So if the T-bill goes up, historically rates should go down, but that's not going to happen because we are at artificially deflated rates right now.
Well, I think the banks right now, to answer the question, the banks are so capitalized in investing in growth in the economy that I don't think they're ever going to be able to beat correspondent lenders on most interest rates ever again. That's in my opinion, as someone who follows it closely. In other words,
They're not motivated to though either.
they're not motivated because if I'm a bank, if I'm Wells Fargo and I can put money into the stock market or in T-bills or something else,
Oh, my
Other
lips
than-
are on fire.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to compete with some of these brokers and some of these wholesale lenders that are just they're better. That's why I love working with the business partners that I work with, the loan officers, because they're working to show the extra value that some of these big correspondent lenders can't.
Carolina Reaper's got staying power.
I don't know if that answers your question, David, but that's where I think it's going.
That's-
Giving mango
okay.
habanero to our
Jared
dogs.
Jared just put wax on his lips again, sealing
Oh,
that.
and
that
David,
spice
as far as
in.
the Rams and the Cards, I got the Rams. I got the Rams winning.
Can dogs taste spice?
I would think so.
They're
We got another
eating it.
question here. We actually have
Very-
two more
very
questions,
excited about
everybody.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah,
We got two more
Rams
questions.
definitely, David. Rams.
You know what, guys? I'm actually kind of getting adrenaline
Yep.
burst. Woo!
Adrenaline
All right.
rush. I'll call it
Let's answer
pepper high.
another one. Let's answer another question. So now,
It's actually the
We
same
got-
as a runner's high from the capsation. It's a pepper high.
is there a need for a credit builder account, self or credit strong, if I already have a mortgage?
Maybe.
Ooh, good question.
There are a lot of other factors that
There are a lot of other factors.
Is the mortgage in good shape? Is it
Right.
your only installment account? You know, there's a lot of factors. There are quite a few factors.
I would
Yeah.
say one thing to keep in mind too is that if you don't have any lending goals in the next 12 months or less, and you already have a mortgage, remember it's important to know positive data is positive data. So if you
I
have
use it
the
as
ability to continue to build positive payment history on multiple accounts, it's typically always going to be a good thing. The reason why it may not be a good thing is if you're on the cusp when it comes to debt to income ratio and qualifying for things.
Right.
So you just want to have a really good understanding of your income versus expenses, as well as your credit report and what you're trying to apply for in the future. If you can really have a good understanding, sorry guys, if you guys have a really good understanding of that, it really helps because you become more informed, you have more buying power, and you can make better decisions. We actually didn't even get to talk about that. I wanted to really talk about, in fact, I'll bring it up right now. You know what, guys, I'm going to do one more round of this Reaper for everybody. It's actually kind of like addicting.
Put it on your lips.
Don't
Ginger
put it
Chris
on
has
there.
got the milk out.
So once again,
Well, I was ready, but I really
I
didn't
want
need
people
it,
to see
unfortunately.
this.
Pour it in your mouth.
And that's the hottest one in that carafe of hot
Pour it
sauce
in your
you
mouth.
got, huh?
I'm
Pour
not
it in
going to
your
pour it
mouth.
in my mouth. That's
Pour it in
weird.
your
Do you
mouth.
want this?
No.
Like to that song. Put
Put it-
some
put it in your
sugar
neti
on
pot.
me.
Put it in your neti pot. Put it in your
Oh
enema.
no!
Put it in
Did you
your
ever try that
enema.
neti pot?
All right.
I did.
You know, don't put hot
But
sauce to it.
I'm
though.
not gonna put the hot sauce in it. No.
Novage.
Reaper stays with you.
Novage.
Novage. We didn't invent
So
nasal
let's talk
whatever. but we
Irrigation.
yeah, but we
Jared
perfected
wants to
it.
talk that settlement.
Why?
not
Oh,
to
wait,
know.
we're still on video.
So let's talk about money. Right now, we're out of holidays. Whoo! Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, everybody! I'm so excited. So
Oh, not right.
we're out of the holidays. We're in the new year,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It's very common right now. A lot of people have overspent. They have a lot of credit card debt, more than usual. And I'm sure you've
Yep.
all seen the amount of offers coming for debt consolidation loans. Let's
Yes.
talk about it.
Oh
Why?
yeah.
Why not? Let's talk about it.
Don't do it.
Well, first of all, let me preface this by saying, because Jared just used a very technical term that most of these advertisers in these promotional places don't. He used the word debt consolidation. Actually, most of them, that's not what they're doing. They're not actually taking all your debt and consolidating into one loan.
Hmm.
All right. And so I won't use any names, but you know who they are. They advertise at 11 o'clock at night on TV.
All the ones you've ever heard of.
All the ones you've ever heard of. I've heard them on the radio.
All the ones you've ever heard of do this.
So I'm gonna go through an anecdotal story of someone, actually Derek, who's one of Jared's admission coaches, had me second voice someone a couple of weeks ago who literally could not get out of their contract, and I went through and I looked through the scenario. So here's what happened. This person had 3 credit cards, all right around $5,000. So they had $15,000 in credit card debt, and they were not able to catch up on it. So a year and a half ago, 18 months ago, they listened to the TV, just like Jared's alluding to. They listened to the TV, and the TV, it sounded great. They got on the phone. All you have to do is make us one low payment of $511 a month, and we're going to make your credit card debt go away in 5 years. They bought into the program. They started making $511 payments every month. Now, I'll let the rest of the coaches explain to you the details of what happened at that point. But the effect, the impact it had on their buying power is it forced all 3 of those credit cards into default and 18 months worth of late payments across all 3 credit cards. All right. And they hadn't settled any of the debt.
Right. Yep. It's called strategic default.
Contrary to that, though, are the ones where, I mean, you have to not always get this opportunity, but where a credit card will say, hey, apply for our credit card and transfer all your balances over here. And I wouldn't even try what Jared's eating over there. But the thing about it, when you get it, when you're looking at consolidations or any type of ways of putting all your debt into one spot, you still, if you haven't trained if you don't have the discipline yet in spending and a spending plan, then you're just going to start running up those other credit cards again. There's just really no way. It's an impossible. There's no way it will not happen. I think we probably have all lived it. I know I went through it plenty of times where I thought this was going to be the answer, but once you zero out that other credit card, all of a sudden you have this available
credit,
available. And now it's even harder because look at how we can shop. I don't even have to make a trip to the mall anymore. And I had trouble when I was in high school and college, let alone, I can't imagine if I was able to shop online back then, what that would do to my ability to manage my money. Because you can just be sitting at the dinner table and go, oh, you know what? I need that. And just hop on not even that. What about when you're sitting there scrolling Facebook and then something pops on there to sell you something out of nowhere? It's without a spending plan, you are at the whim and mercy of marketers with data and that know what you want. It's a scary world right now without a plan.
Well, just to elaborate on that, let's just because some of those companies, Brian,
You're right back, guys.
some of those companies will only give you the loan to pay them off if you close your credit cards, which is just as bad.
Not usually a credit card balance transfer though, but yes, some of those other, like a true consolidation would do that.
I'm talking about a
Lots
true
of times
consolidation
if you
loan.
get into a loan, like an actual home loan where you have to pay off other debt, they'll make you close those cards.
Well,
So you're
just even
negatively impacting your
consolidation
credit
companies.
profile to do it, right?
Yeah, there are actually consolidation loans from a bank that they'll do it, but they require you close all the accounts that they pay off because they know what you're going to do. They're that scenario you just described,
Exactly.
and they
Well, I
want to
was gonna
prevent that.
What I was going to say was, it's like what Brian's point, I think, is very applicable for what a lot of people are facing right now. Is they're receiving marketing because here's the deal: the bureaus sell our information. That's important to know. Everyone that's listening, bureaus sell your data. So when you get pre-approval offers in the mail, when you get marketing about debt consolidation, it's because they know they've sold your info to know that you've racked up credit card debt. And what happens is, until you better your relationship with money and actually understand what's coming in versus what's going out, getting a loan to put a Band-Aid on a situation is not going to fix it, because what Brian says is going to happen. You pay these off, you now have this fixed payment for X amount of years. It's 1 to 3 years, let's say, for a debt consolidation loan. And you have, $500 a month. How easy it is to keep swiping, keep buying. Before you know it, you've racked up debt on that again. Now you have minimum payments here. Now, before you know it, you're over leveraged in your monthly outgo, and you're looking back going, oh, shoot, I should have never done that. And if you have, let's say you're fair credit or even at the lower end of good credit, the terms on those loans are very bad. In fact, there's actually quite a few that operate under, just like here locally in Minnesota, there's Mystic Lake Casino for Indian tribe, where a lot of times what they have, the type of rules they abide by are a little bit different. There's actually quite a few debt consolidation companies that are operated under Indian tribes, and therefore the terms that they charge are significantly higher than what you would see from someone else, significantly higher. And you may not know that. Now, don't get me wrong. When you go through the application process, they make it very simple. You click, 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 click. Oh, you're approved. Okay, great. I'm getting my money. You'll get it as soon as tomorrow. You'll get it as soon as tomorrow. That sounds really good when you're looking at bills coming right here going, I can't afford this. And I want to buy something and my credit's gone down because my credit card balances went so much. My scores tanked 40, 50 points. I want to fix that because I know I want to buy a home. I've overspent here. Oh, I can get money tomorrow. They're pulling, they're clicking, they're clicking, they're clicking. That's what I'm talking about. So it's about getting informed. It's about getting your mind right and going, okay, you know what? Let's not do that. And let's look at, okay, where am I at really? When's the last time you really looked at what's coming in, the pay schedule, what's going out, where's my money going? Have you actually looked at a bank statement to identify the spending that you don't know where it goes, right? And really understand it. And then on top of that, really understand, okay, I have a certain lifestyle that I need to live or I want to live, right? Well, there's probably areas, more than likely, I'm going to tell you right now, that you're exceeding what you even think your lifestyle is because you don't know. And you can now allocate a budget towards that category expense and say, I want to stay within this because now it's going to give you an extra $100 a month to pay down debt. And when you put together a debt reduction plan to see the power of that and what it actually can do for you and how to get out debt faster, that's what I wanted to talk about. To really empower people to understand the power of money.
That's a great point. And it gets back to the word that Brian used earlier. I talk to a lot of people who they have the mindset to start the new year. All right. And I am all about mindset. I've made resolutions for 54 years, or at least 50 years, to make changes in my life, but without a plan, without a pen to paper, without a goal, without somebody holding me accountable to that plan. All it is a resolution. Right. So when we added money mastery last year and doing some of the things that the operations team's doing with Chris, that's what Jared's talking about. It's not good enough to say, I'm just not going to buy at Amazon anymore.
I'm just not going to order out as much.
It's not realistic. It's not okay to say, you know what, I'm never going to have fast food ever again. That's not realistic. And what happens is, and we've all five of us have all seen this with our clients many times. People start to see improvements and things start to get better, and they feel the feeling is things are getting better. They weren't that bad. And what happens when your mind says that? You go right back to doing what you were doing before because it wasn't that bad.
It's like an addictive mindset. It really
is. Exactly. And I see it all the time. And then they get into the plan, and the plan isn't to starve. The plan isn't to stop buying holiday presents. The plan isn't to never buy a new car. The plan is the plan. and the plan's going to
that's-
get you to your goal.
And I think, you know what? I think I saw Alan Williams on. And if that's Alan Williams on with Money Mastery, he said something that resonated with me so much. And what he said, he goes, when you work this plan, right, and you can really have more transparent clarity of where your money's going, the one thing he said was, you'll realize that in life, you can have anything you want, but you may not be able to have everything you want.
Yep.
And that's powerful, meaning when you start understanding what your money can do for you, and you start allocating those goals and going, okay, I want to achieve X, you now start to realize this here takes priority. And even though I want these things here, I'm okay not getting them because I'm going to get this.
Right. And all those things that you put with your hand down below, like all these B level priorities and C level priorities, that's exactly what Brian's talking about. This year, just so some of you know, this year I went into a lot of the reoccurring online purchases that I'd made, and I took my card information out. They are preying on us right here. It's like groceries.
Microtransactions.
The microtransactions. It's like Rick isn't going to notice the $300 we take out of his checking account every month, right? And yeah, I don't. It's setting that bar a little higher. Yes, I'm going to get a conventional loan by the end of the year. Yes, I'm going to get this new car by this time. And then it's the reverse planning of it that puts the pressure not on the big goal, because the plan is the plan. Follow the plan, you're going to get there. Right. It's changing your habits. And I've said this, I've heard Chris say this. Our goal is not to transform your credit report and your credit score. Our goal in working with you and partnering with you is to transform you.
Right.
Something about you is going to have to change to get not only to where you want to be, but stay there and keep it and maintain it.
You know, one of the interesting things also with respect to whether you have a plan or not, where you are in life and your income and what you're used to, everybody has that dollar amount. That's the one that says, that's a little expensive and you have to think about it.
Right.
But that dollar amount's not always the right one. You know, back when we were young, it was like $10 or 15 or 20. And you're like, yeah, that's a lot. I have to think about that, you know, and then you get older and then $50 becomes that number. And you're like, well, we can go out to eat because it's going to be under $50. But if you don't take it into consideration how many times you're doing that, your mind still tells you that's the number you can afford, but you end up doing it a couple extra times each month and you don't realize that was the extra $100 that you weren't expecting to spend. And that's why it's so important to plan. That number as you get older or you make more money, then it becomes $1,000. Oh, that's just $1,000. I can buy that, or it's just 5,000, or that kind of idea. But you still have to pay attention to how much of those dollars that you spend and how many times you spend it each month, or else you're going to go over budget.
That's a perfect point, Brian. And I've actually have been watching this show on. Well, that's one thing I've been doing over COVID is watching all kinds of Netflix stuff. I was watching this thing about people who have won the lottery, and I thought about this when you said back when you were young. And I think about this now. Could you imagine winning the lottery and being broke 3 years later?
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, I could imagine winning the lottery, but nobody ever thinks it's going to happen to them, yet it does if you don't have a plan.
Time and time again, it's
just the way it is.
Well,
hard to imagine.
Tigers are expensive, so
They are expensive.
We saw that from the Tiger King show on Netflix.
oh, it's so expensive.
Yeah, no, that's great stuff. I mean, it's
Carol Baskins.
This property taxes on a Mediterranean island.
Oh man, how do your lips feel? How do your lips feel, Jeremy?
I don't
You've been
think
really,
I have
you've been really quiet the last 5 minutes,
Dude.
brother.
I'm ready for
Rubbing-
next time because I think I should have gone a little hotter.
Rubbing Carolina Reaper directly on my lips was not a,
No, I don't know
was
what
not a
you're
good idea. I don't know.
You are so welcome.
Yeah, that's
You should do that again and go kiss
You
your
realize
wife.
I've spent most of my life being the guy who goes, here, hold my beer. So it's just that's right. Rub it on your lips. I'm like, okay. That was a great idea.
it's a great idea.
This is the hottest pepper there is.
Please warn your wife before you kiss her goodnight tonight.
Oh hell no.
Well, I think what we'll do is
She is straight up Minnesotan too. She'll her head will I'd be like, night, honey.
I love it. Well, I think we're gonna definitely make this more of a regular routine. Maybe quarterly. We'll do hot type challenges.
Okay.
Peppers. Straight up peppers next time.
Next time we're gonna control the what everyone's getting, so that way we can make sure it's even.
Yeah.
And
I was definitely on the
I'm
low end
super
of the
disappointed
scale.
in my hot choice.
I liked mine. It's all over my lips.
yeah, you
Desert
really liked
heat.
it.
Just
Well, I
desert
I
heat.
thought I was doing good. Mango
It's still
habanero.
burning, by the way.
Okay, atomic. I mean, atomic wings. That should be hot, right?
You'd think so.
Yeah,
Very disappointing.
they really downgraded the meaning of atomic.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
seriously.
Jared won today for the best wing hot
He went
challenge.
through he went
reactions.
through a physical transformation the last 40 minutes.
Like we watched it.
Yeah, I'm feeling much better now.
I thought for sure I'd have to take my hat off and let the heat leave my bald head, but I didn't ever have to.
I think we got to figure something else out for me.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we
Gayla, do
do.
we have your permission to take Brian a little farther beyond his comfort zone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
and
I like
he's
that
gonna make
idea.
sure that happens.
I like the idea from Alex. Next time, everyone finishes with the last stab. Yes. You know, Alex,
Ooh, there
that's
you go.
actually where I got this idea from. Is I love watching that YouTube podcast, Hot Ones, with the interview of celebrities where they're eating, and I'm like, you know what? That what a great way to make. You know, what we do here is like, you know, it's technical. It's like money, finance, credit. A lot of times people aren't as interested, you know, as they would just, you know, listen to a celebrity. But I figured, hey, let's make this fun. Let's do something fun. Let's do something funny. And that way people can learn, we can be entertained all at the same time. So that's actually where I got the idea from. So, oh, you have? Oh my goodness. So Alex has actually tried the last dab. There is something I looked up today when I was looking up some more hot sauces. Like for
Look
next
up
time,
the bomb final. Look up the bomb. The source.
There's one called like the bomb
The
prototype
source.
9 or something crazy.
Yeah. That's all. Some insight. You all know I was part of a hot sauce company for a number of years.
Oh,
That's
there's something
where-
called The End.
That's the
Look
end.
up The End. That sounds awesome. That we need to find. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So in the next one, we are gonna find
The
these
end, it's
absolutely
flatline
insane
hot
Yeah, let's go do
sauce.
some shopping for this stuff. And
yeah.
Oh,
As long as
you
it's-
guys, if you want, I can make the arrangements on the sauces.
Let's ask everyone that's on right now. Who wants to see us? I know Alex does. Who wants to see us do hotter sauces next time we do this? Who wants to see
Heck
it?
yeah.
I'm getting a
Yeah,
box.
how
of
about-
Kleenex next time.
Haley does.
It's gotta be
Haley does.
organic though. Only organic peppers, please.
Only organic peppers.
As
What's this
opposed
guy
to
talking
what?
about?
As opposed to
I don't know. I want it
like
to be. I want it to be
laboratory grown
organic
peppers or something.
and dairy free, vegan peppers.
Free.
Why don't we get a bottle of the
Dairy
source?
free.
Why don't we get a bottle of the source? It's 7.1 million Scoville heat units.
Ooh.
All right. We're gonna grab a
Now
few.
it's all
right.
those things are also meant to be.
Oh,
those
this
things
is
are also,
awesome.
Someone's
So TT joined it. I'll send you an organic vegan Carolina Reaper if you eat it.
Oh,
Dude, do
Does
it.
it have-
We gotta send one.
What
Here, I'm gonna put. Here we go. I'm
Son
gonna
of
put
a-
our office address in here.
Brian's gonna suddenly come down with an illness.
we will take. Yes,
All
we
right.
will take.
Jared
chili
is Jared is
donations.
officially soliciting hot sauces.
Oh, look at
Real-
iBurn.com.
real chili heads.
Local
We'll
hot
take,
sauce
yeah,
shop in
for real
Houston.
chili heads, we'll take.
He has the address.
Oh
Shoot.
my gosh.
Boom. So there we go. For
Yeah.
no, that was
Oh,
only
Lord
to
have
us.
mercy.
Hey,
I have to redo this.
did we get the last question before we go? I think I saw something for Jason May.
Yes, let's answer that.
Okay.
Boom. I had to put that in there for you.
There
so
we go.
if anyone wants to send us to our office,
Hot
either
sauces,
super
hot stuff to
sauce
eat,
or
chili
pepper,
peppers.
we will do it live for
And
everybody.
if someone
We will
wants
do
to
that.
drop $117 on a bottle of the source, that is legitimately. That is
Just to have around the
Oh, it
house
has
with
to
your
be
eggs.
Brian, though,
TT
he
said
says.
it's got to be Brian. All right, fine. We'll make it happen. It's going to be Brian then. He has
I
to
love
eat the
it.
Reaper.
Yes,
Ah.
it must be Brian.
I love it.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! So here we go for the next.
Give the
final-
people what they want.
Yes.
Oh God.
We'll be like in the Gladiator. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, when my eyes start bleeding, you guys are all gonna feel really bad.
Brian's in the
Real,
back there
I'm not gonna feel
"Ah."
bad at all. I'm gonna laugh my butt off.
So we got last question here from Jason
Yeah.
May, which has been awesome all night. Thank you, Jason. So before we had the question about Credit Strong Self-Lender, the mortgage, right?
Yeah.
And so Jason brought up, looking to buy an investment property. how do these accounts affect DTI when it comes to investment properties?
Just straight up like any other account would.
Yep.
I'm kind of like if you owe a balance on a credit card, that's going to affect your DTI. You got a car payment, that's going to affect your DTI. One of these self-lenders will affect your DTI. Then again, if you set up a self-lender that's $25 a month, I don't know your income, so I don't know how much of an impact that'll have. I set one up for myself. That's a couple $100 a month. It pays out at the end of October every year. I do a 12-month one. I don't even need it for my credit anymore. I got 7 kids. I use it as a Christmas account. So I get a couple $1,000s cash just in my checking account
versus your credit card. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I get. It's pre layaway. I get a couple $1,000 in my checking account right before Black Friday.
Right. It's an alternative to the old style Christmas Club account.
The Christmas Club account. Yeah.
Right.
And it's because it is an installment payment on lent money. It reports to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion as installment payments on a bank obligation. So it rounds out the profile, builds the score. Bring them on in. Give them some hot sauce.
I was going to jump one more thing in there real quick for Jason.
Yeah, do not give that kid any hot sauce.
Is that Harrison? Tell Harrison he's got to have the desert heat.
Harrison's got to have one of us.
So what I was going to say for Jason real quick is this. There are times, Credit Strong has some really cool accounts. And I know when it comes to if you're looking to improve your credit for future business lending, doing their Magnum accounts has been, that really does help, because a lot of times what Jeremy brought up, the lower dollar ones help build positive payment history,
right,
while maintaining a lower balance so it doesn't impact DTI as much. But if you have the flexibility of DTI, if you have the income, getting one of their Magnum accounts where you can show a much higher amount in there that you're building up this history, that can put, it's a higher tier because the balance itself is higher. So FICO has something called rank order risk. The higher the balance, the more important it is. So that when you get these certain types of specialty accounts, it can put your credit profile in a better position to get better specialty type loans, like business, like certain investment type things. So it might be something that you look into, but you got to be careful. You just want to, once again, you got to make sure, what am I looking to apply for?
Right.
What type of guidelines are they going to be looking for? What do I need to meet? That's what it's all about. How do I put myself in a position to meet the qualifications before I even apply?
Right.
That is the difference. And I'll tell you right now, the vast majority of people don't think that way.
Right.
They apply, get to 9, go, oh, I wonder why I didn't get approved. They don't know how this even works, right? So if you can start reversing it, going, what type of guidelines do I need to meet? Let's meet those conditions in advance, then apply. So that, I think, will help you out a lot, is just kind of thinking that way to know, hey, should I get something like that or not?
Right. It's flipping the script. It's going in knowing you're qualified, then wondering why you didn't get approved.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
Good point.
That was good.
You guys, with investment properties, aren't there some specialty lenders that will include, if it's already cash flowing, you take that into consideration?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, they'll
regular
take
lending will.
There's a lender for everything.
You mean like like a lease agreement, they'll count that towards income?
Yeah, to help offset,
Yep.
so that they know.
I mean, they
Absolutely.
Not
like
all of them will do that,
investment-
though. A lot of them want you to be able to pay for it with or without that, because you're not always going to have a tenant. But you start. That's how you
they
can start
take that
building
into
out the properties.
consideration, though, Brian. So, for
Yeah,
example,
they usually figure 0.85 occupancy.
Point 0.85, 0.75.
Oh, depends
Is what I'm
Tomato,
familiar with. It may have
tomato.
changed. It may have changed, but 0.75 is what I was familiar with.
But it's like
We'll play
Jared
it there
said,
to be safer.
is look at it from an opportunity perspective versus from a loss perspective, and all this stuff gets better. It's easier to work with when you have a plan. You know what your goal is.
Yep. Exactly. That was, you know what? That was what it's all about right there. You got a plan. You know what your goals. Let's hit it. You know what I mean? So that was super fun.
That was great.
Thank you, everyone that stuck with us. We had a lot of people jump in. It was so much fun. We'll definitely be doing this again. And everyone, take down our address. Send over that reefer.
If you want to send
Let's go.
hot sauce, if you want to send us
Let's do it.
chili peppers, hot this,
Well,
hot that.
All that stuff is great, but if you are looking to send a referral over, make sure you copy down Rick's email address.
Yep.
Send
We
that
had
over
Rick
to
there.
Rick.
We had David, and we
we'll
had
connect
quite a
with
few
you.
people. It was awesome.
Absolutely.
So
Thanks, Chris.
thanks,
you.
Brian.
Us at-
Thanks, Kaylee. Thanks, Jared, Jeremy.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you, everybody.
everybody.
All right.
Good times.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing y'all.
Have a
Well,
great
good
night.
night, everyone.
Let's go. 2022, baby.
I'm in pain.
Yeah.
See ya.
Awesome.
Bye.